What is up, guys? Justin here with an insane amount of pickups. This has been a crazy week. I've got a crap ton of stuff to show you guys in this video, so I'm going to move through it as briskly as I can, trying to avoid like a 20-minute video here, but it might happen anyway. So let's start off with a Gamecube bundle that I picked up. It was exactly a week ago now. Didn't think I was going to end up with this one because after the guy had emailed me and sent me the list of the games he had, we decided on a price, and then he told me that he was from like an hour and a half from here. But surprisingly, he was willing to drive most of the way. I drove like 25 minutes or something, and he drove over an hour to meet me for this deal, and I gave him $80 for all this stuff. So here's the system I got here. It's in pretty nice shape. There's something rattling around inside of it, so I'll have to take that out. But it had, had the cords with it, and then he said he had 3 controllers, so I got kind of excited, and all 3 of them ended up being these crappy GameStop controllers. Only one of which actually works, go figure. So that was kind of disappointing, but whatever. The best part of the deal was definitely the games that I got. I didn't get a ton of them, but this is what definitely made the $80 worth it. So we'll start out with Sonic Adventure Battle 2 Battle. I don't know. No manual on that one. Hot Wheels Velocity, X Velocity. Spider-Man. Madden 06. Lego Star Wars, the video game. 007 Nightfire. Need for Speed Underground. NFL Street 2. Super Mario Sunshine. I don't think there was a manual on this one either, no. Pac-Man Versus and Pac-Man World 2, and I think this one was missing. Yeah, it's only got one of the discs in there. But then the best one, Super Smash Bros. Melee. And I think this one was complete. Yep, that one's complete. In pretty nice shape. So for $80 and a little bit of a drive, that was not a super great deal, but definitely worth it. So this next find here was from Wednesday, I believe, and it's a Goodwill purchase. Something that I have not purchased at our Goodwill in a very long time, and that was an NES system. I couldn't believe this. They had this sitting up in their glass case up front for $29.99, which, considering the way prices have been going on our Goodwill recently, especially for NES stuff, that was a pretty good price. The system's in good shape. I think it needs new pins, but it did come with the power adapter plugged into it. No RF cord. Maybe that's why it was cheaper. They couldn't fully test it or whatever. But then it also had a couple controllers that were plugged into it. And then I went up to the electronics section and found another controller. This one was, I paid $2.99 for that one. So still a good deal for a controller. I'm just surprised the system wasn't priced at like 50 or 60 bucks. But yeah, NES system from the Goodwill. It might not happen again for a very long time or ever. And then also on Wednesday, I met up with somebody for an N64 deal after I got done with work. And this is a deal that has been in the works for like, it seems like almost a month now. I had seen this N64 lot pop up on our local Facebook page like 3 weeks ago. And there was a ton of comments on it, people saying, oh, I'll take it next, you know. And so I figured it was long gone, but I sent a message anyway, and like 2 weeks later I got a message back asking if I was still interested. So I guess all the other sales fell through. And then I tried to haggle a little bit on the price. They weren't going to bend on the price, so I just kind of said screw it. Well, the next day I see the same lot get posted, but this time they had some other games included with it, one of which was Mario Kart, which made their original asking price a lot more reasonable, and I ended up scooping this up. So here's the system I got with the deal. I believe it did have the expansion pack in there too. And it came with, well, there's 2 controllers, both of which are probably junk. The joysticks are so used that I doubt either of those work. But it did have the cords in there as well. And then a handful of games. So here's the Mario Kart that was not pictured or anything. I just happened to catch in the description when she reposted it that, oh, I'll throw in Mario Kart too, and that definitely made the deal worth it. Army Men Sarge's Heroes 2, Glover, Wave Race 64, Army Men Sarge's Heroes, one of these N64 cases, and then the one I was most excited to get, Snowboard Kids. I have not found a Snowboard Kids game in a really long time. This is one of my favorite N64 games. Actually, the second Snowboard Kids, I like that one a little bit more. But this is a great game too. Highly recommend this one if you can find it. So what did I pay for all that? It was $65. So you can see, without the Mario Kart, that wasn't really a good deal. Maybe to somebody it was, but not really. Like, I wouldn't have paid $65 for it, but when she threw in the Mario Kart, I was like, hell yeah. Again, pumped to get that Snowboard Kids. So let me clear some room here, and I will move on to my next find. Alright, so my deal for Thursday is not that exciting. After work, I went and picked up a PlayStation 2 Slim, had the cords, and a controller, 20 bucks. So then Saturday came around, and Saturday was a hell of a day for game finds. Firstly, I met up with the same guy that I've been buying a ton of stuff from. I got like the 20 systems and 180 games from him a few videos ago. Same guy had some more stuff, and I believe I gave him $100 for everything that I'm about to show. In addition to what I'm going to show, there's like a ton of cords and controllers and stuff that I'm not going to show individually. They're all tangled up in here. I took a picture for the Facebook page. I'll throw that up at the end so you guys can at least see what they were. But the only system I got with the deal was this N64 system. Reset button is stuck. To fix that, and no expansion pack. That came with it had the power adapter and couple controllers. Again, I'll show those at the end. I kind of want to focus on the games here. So let's hop into this with some NES games that he had. We got Lode Runner, Legacy of the Wizard, Solomon's Key, Ferrari Grand Prix Challenge, Spy Hunter, Ice Hockey, The Moffat Conspiracy, Disney's Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. This one here is cool. I haven't had this one in a while. Little Nemo's Dream Master. Cartridge feels a little bit loose, but I think it's alright. And then the best one that he had by far was a minty fresh Mega Man 6. I love the artwork on the front of this game. So that label is just glossy. So I was pumped to get this one. I haven't had this one in a long time. I don't even know that I've ever owned, other than my personal copy, I don't know that I've ever had another Mega Man 6. So that was cool to get. It's probably the best game I got in here. Moving on to he had a few Genesis cartridges, the Jungle Book, Pat Riley Basketball, Monopoly, and a Madden 96. He also had a couple Super Nintendo games, NHL 96, and Donkey Kong Country. And then some sealed games, actually. These are nothing special, but Sega Bass Fishing for the Wii, brand new factory sealed. Xbox Live Arcade Unplugged. Looks like that originally came bundled with something. That one's brand new. And then a brand new NASCAR 06 for the original Xbox. A couple PS3 games. These aren't sealed, but I believe they're both complete. Fallout 3 and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And I believe that was all the games that I got. So in addition to the system, like I said, I'll throw up that picture right now, is a bunch of like 5 NES controllers, 2 N64 controllers, Super Nintendo controller, Genesis controller, along with some various cords and stuff. So yeah, $100 for all that was a pretty sweet deal. Who knows? I might even have more stuff from this guy in the same video. So let's move on to a deal that I actually made like an hour after picking that stuff up. So yes, an entire hour went by, and I actually went back to the exact same parking lot and met up with a different guy for an NES bundle. I had woken up to a text from this guy. He told me he had a boxed and complete Super Nintendo system and a couple games. So I asked for a picture, and he sent me a picture, and it was not a Super Nintendo system. It was actually this, a complete NES system. And when I first saw the picture, I had never seen this version of the box before. It looks very similar to like the challenge set that I have up here, except it didn't come packed with the Mario Bros. 3. So I thought this was a little bit harder to find, but it turns out it's not. I may have overpaid a little bit on this deal, but I was happy to get this because if you take a look inside, everything was minty fresh. Like, it had all the baggies and everything. The system was in really nice shape. It had, the controllers, and it was actually pretty limited what was in there because it didn't come packed in with any games or like the Zapper gun or anything like the action set did. The only thing it didn't have was the original power adapter. It had this in there instead, which is some like generic third-party power adapter, which he said worked. But I'll obviously just put an original power adapter in there to make that what I believe to be a fully complete system, in really nice shape. I'm definitely hanging on to that one. In addition to the system, though, he also had an extra controller, and he had a Super Mario Bros. 3, and he had another boxed and complete Super Mario Bros. 3. So the game's actually in here in addition to this one that he had. This is also in pretty nice shape, a little wear on the corners, but not too bad on that. So what did I pay for everything? I kind of could tell that he didn't know exactly what he had, but he seemed kind of like the hustler type, so I didn't want to lowball him too much. So I originally offered him $80 for everything, and then he came back at me with some really bizarre numbers. He was like, how about, he wanted $61 for the system, like $14 for the extra controller, like 10 or 15 for each of the game, whatever. He ended up at 105 somehow, and I said, how about an even 100 and you have a deal? So another $100 deal, but I'm definitely hanging on to that control set. I do not have that one yet. Again, I thought it was a little bit harder to find, but it's I guess it's not. So I paid a little more than I probably should have or normally would have for it, but I'm happy with it. It's in really nice shape. So to make this week come full circle, let's end this with another Sunday deal. This is stuff that I got this morning. Same guy from yesterday, not the boxed NES guy, but the same guy that I've been buying a ton of stuff from. He had another NES bundle. I guess one of his friends had heard he was into buying like the old game stuff or whatever, and they ended up working on a deal, and he just turned right around and sold it to me. So I'll let you guys know what I paid for all this at the end. But let's quickly show yet another NES system. What's this, the third one that I've gotten in this video now? Third one in 1 week. It came with, actually it was funny, it had a Sega Genesis, the Model 1 Sega Genesis power adapter, which does work in the NES. And then it had the RF cord. There was a couple guns in there. This was kind of funny too, because this was, I saw this exact gun at Goodwill when I bought that NES early on Wednesday, and I passed on it for $4.99. I passed on the gun. They had an orange one too. It was just funny that he bought it, and then I ended up getting it like a few days later. And then there was like 3 controllers in there. But the best part about this deal was, once again, the games. I don't know, there's got to be close to 30 of them here, so I'll show these quickly. We got Bases Loaded 2, second season, Strider, one I haven't had in a while, Double Dragon, Ninja Gaiden, first one, Ninja Gaiden 2, I wish he had Ninja Gaiden 3, he didn't. He had Ninja Turtles though. Blades of Steel, Rampage, Punch-Out, the non-Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Adventures of Bayou Billy, 1943, Battletoads, Gyromite, which I have not checked for a Famicom converter. It does not look like it though. This one, I don't know what happened to this label, but it's Tecmo Super Bowl. The label's all like bubbled, so it must have got wet or something. I hope the game still works. Jeopardy, Junior Edition. Sorry, I was looking for the subtitle somewhere. Pac-Man. We got Metroid, Metal Gear, Blaster Master. Not one, but 2 copies of the original Contra, followed up by Super C. Gotta have your Tetris, Excite Bike, Skate or Die, RBI Baseball, Q*bert, Super Mario Bros. 3, also the 3rd copy of this I think I got for this video, and Super Mario Bros. 2. So I looked all that stuff over. We hadn't decided on a price or anything. You know, I obviously wanted to make sure that he was making a little bit of money for the deal, so it wasn't just a waste of his time or whatever. So I offered him originally. I offered him, I think, $130 for everything. He came back at me with $150. So I said, I'll meet you in the middle at $140. And then he pulled a little sales tactic here. He was like, well, hold on, I got one more game that might change your mind. So he goes into his center console in his truck and pulls out the first Mega Man and said, how about $150 if I throw this in? And I said, deal. I have not had this one in a long time. Again, I don't think I've owned this game other than my personal copy. This one seems to be pretty hard to find. It's in pretty nice shape. The label is, I got to take, there's a sticker on here that I got to take off. The back of it's a little bit dirty, but it'll clean up all right. So that was awesome. That sealed the deal for me for $150. Another hell of a deal. I got to say thank you to Mike. I know you're probably not watching this, but if you are, thanks again for the hookup. So just to wrap things up here, hell of a week for pickups. I'm kind of looking over everything now. I have it all scattered around here, realizing how long it's going to take for me to actually go through, like test all the systems, like change the pins in the NES systems if they need it, you know, figure out what I'm going to do with the games. It's going to take a whole nother week just to do that, but it's definitely worth it, and I'm definitely satisfied with this week. Hopefully my streak can continue for another week, and maybe I'll have another like 20-some-odd minute video. I don't know how long this has gotten now, but I'm going to wrap it up to avoid going on any longer here. Thank you guys for sticking around and checking out the video, and until next time, take care.